This is the assignment walkthrough for the assignment titled assignment number 6, service website. So for this assignment, we are going to be building a website or a landing page for our service. You know, I used to teach, I still teach digital technologies. A couple years ago, it used to be such that the capstone experience for that class was creating a website. Now with these new tools that it is that we have to use, it's never been easier. We create websites in that class, many websites throughout the course of the semester. In this class, we'll create a few. This is the first one. Okay, so there's no requirement to pay for any of these tools. We're going to do just the free plan. Okay, and everything that we're going to do based on the free plan. So. What is the service landing page? So the service landing page is the idea is this is something that I can show someone probably on a mobile device. 65% of web traffic in 2026 occurs on mobile, so therefore we probably want to get it ready for mobile usage, optimized for mobile. So the idea here is that this is something I can show to people. I can maybe text to people. Really, I could go around with a QR code and I could share with people the QR code. They scan the QR code. It takes them directly to the service website. They're able to very quickly get an idea of what it is that we offer. And then they're able to click our CTA. CTA is call to action. Call to action on a website very specifically means, like right here, it very specifically on a website is a button. Okay, so it's not a headline. It's not a subheadline. It very specifically is a button. Okay. When people click that button, it takes them where? It should take them to our feedback mechanism. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to create a website that just shows my service, shows what the service does. Okay, and then has a button with a call to action. That call to action is the label. So book now, schedule now. It could be as simple as join waitlist or provide feedback or take our survey. Whatever you want to call it, it really doesn't matter. Like for example, if I did schedule a service, okay, and people click that button, but it took them to a feedback survey, like a Google form, fine. You know what? Them clicking the button is actually a even higher level of indication that they would be like, try the service. If they click the button wanting to schedule a service, that's an indication that they wanted to schedule a service, which is what we want anyway, right? So sometimes it's even better to have it like kind of the high bar, like schedule service is sometimes even better than saying like take our survey. Okay, but either one works and depends on what it is that you want to do. But I recommend kind of setting the high bar and kind of thinking about it again scientifically. So what is someone looking at this thinking when it is that they click that button? Okay. All right, so optional tools. So probably some of these are familiar, some of them are not. If you've taken digital tech, probably most, if not all of these are familiar. If you've taken rapid software prototypes, you should probably be familiar with just about all of these. So you can pick your favorite. I'm going to demonstrate two. I'm going to demonstrate Landing Site AI, and I'm going to demonstrate Replit. Okay. For both of these, you'll need to create an account. But when you do create an account, particularly with Replit, use your .edu email. So that is to say your eagle.fgcu.edu email. And if you do decide to get a subscription, you don't have to, but if you do decide to upgrade at some point, using that email will get you discounts. So definitely use that email. Okay. All right. So first of all is this. It all comes down to prompt engineering. So fun, but the idea of, we call this is now vibe coding. Okay, before vibe coding, we had back in the day we had traditional manual code. Then we had maybe a 10-year period where we had what we called no code or low code, and that is like drag and drop, kind of like Canva. And it still had a learning curve and so forth. But now, in the last couple of years, we've been dealing with vibe code. In fact, it's only been about a year and a half since Replit and other similar tools kind of came out. Landing Site AI is maybe about 2.5 years old. Anyway, these are very new tools, and we call them vibe codes, vibe coding. Okay, so I made a very simple prompt here. You might add a little bit more detail in yours, depending on what you want to do. But ultimately, I'm asking for this business name, Southwest Florida, Swiffle, which is never necessarily a good to include the Swiffle in your business unless you are planning on being, and I'll go ahead and use this term, hyper local, because people outside of Southwest Florida, particularly outside of Florida, don't necessarily know what SWFL stands for. So this is, with scale, it's kind of questionable, but just for now, the purpose of this assignment is fine. This is the prompt, and I'm using this prompt here, and I'm also going to use it in Replit. So create a website for an auto detailing service called Southwest Florida Auto Detailers. The main CTA call to action should be a button that says, or with the label, right? Maybe might just do that actually. Labeled schedule a wash. When a user clicks the link, redirect them here. So the idea is this is a link to, notice, a Google Doc. Super simple. And so when they click it, they will actually not be able to schedule a service. They'll go to my Google Doc, or maybe they could schedule a service and they're doing it on a Google Doc. Either way, this is just the very 5 minutes to put a website together kind of thing. Okay. Keep it simple. Do not add any buttons that do not function. So part of the parameters of the assignment is that, notice, be focused only on your service. So no software, apps, physical products at this stage. Include your project service name in the description. Have at least one clear call to action. Include a way for users to take action. That would be clicking the link. That takes them to the feedback survey. And then all buttons are functional. So if a button is not functional, omit it from the site. Be publicly viewable with a shareable link, and I'll show you how it is that we can get that shareable link. So I'll do create my site, and while it's loading, I'll kind of, I do have to do this, huh? Just an Shepki. I think I've used this before, so let's see. Oh no, shoot. I'll just do sign in. Sorry, let's do that real quick. Take me back to it. Okay, now it's building it. While it's building this site, oh no. Okay, so unfortunately on this one I've done too many, but I think I can show you this one. So, okay, so it's building this website maybe. Shoot, I'm sorry about that. While it's loading though, you gotta think about this. When it first gives you a build, you got to think of it as a tailored template. Sometimes people will be like, oh, I love it or I hate it, and you don't want to be there. This is where it's like the tip of the iceberg is when it gives you back this first build is where now is where you start to edit now after this, okay? Back into the days of the no code, low code days, this is where you would have to just pick a template, okay? And you pick a template and you would build a website based on that template. Now you're getting a tailored template. You can look at it that way, but you still do the editing kind of afterwards, okay? I think with the free plan, you get like 10 free edits on like 3 different sites or something to that effect, okay? While this is doing its thing, I'm going to build, and it's going to have to unfortunately be a different website, but I'm going to build a website over here as well, split screen on Replit. Okay, so you can see what's happening here. So I gave it the exact same prompt. Okay, of course it's going to be a different website than what we're going to end up seeing here on account of this is, I think, so this is like a pressure washer that it's going to be building, and then this is a the auto detailer. Preview website. Can I preview the website? Oh, nice. Okay, so. All right, so it hasn't built it quite yet. Okay, you can see Southwest Florida Power Washing. Okay. What I might do is, just for sake of time, well, I guess maybe I'll stay on the page. Okay, it's building it. But I want to say this really quick. This is important. On landingsite.ai, how is it that I can get that shareable link? So I do preview website. And then now, take the survey, return to homepage. So this, first of all, I'll notice, so this is just from Zoom here, so that it's not actually there. Return to homepage. Oh, see, that button's not working. Button's not working, so then I'd have to tell it, right, that need this button to work. So this right here, by the way, this is what I can copy and paste. That is actually your preview link, okay? So you don't actually need to pay for it. You just use a preview link. But we need to make sure that like these buttons are omitted. So this would be like the next thing that I would tell it when it's done building. I'd be like, okay, we need to remove these buttons that are not working. I really just want the CTA that says take my survey, and then kind of go from there. Let's look and see how Replit doing. Replit might actually be kind of quicker. So Replit's still working. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'm probably just going to go ahead and click out of here, my websites. So I'll leave, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm just being very quick here. So Port Richards Power Washing, this is another power washing service example, okay? So if I do preview website, okay? Notice this one actually has the quote, like right in here. I was actually building this for an actual business. This was servicing Austin, Texas. If I do schedule your service, you can actually do a schedule your appointment here. We have a database actually built in. But what you might do instead is actually like something where you're able to, when I click download now, darn. Okay. So notice this. When a user clicks the download now button, send them, or maybe I'll just be nice terms, redirect them here. And now I'm going over here and I'm just grabbing a link to a Google form and I'm putting it in here, okay? And you can see what is happening when I do this. Thinking, we'll give it a second. Meanwhile, at the OK Corral, I have this, okay? Schedule a wash, and it already does it. So notice Replit is doing the thing, very much so. So if I do publish, it's publishing, take it a couple seconds, and then I'm gonna have that shareable link. Let me go back to here. Nice, and same thing over here. So it's all working. Again, a little bit of a workaround to get here. Now, I would have to change a couple things. This is not good. See how we have these buttons that are like hidden? So I'd want to probably reduce the size of this image at least, but notice that works, so good. I want to omit these. Again, the goal of this is to be useful. So something that it is that you can show people that explains what it is that you're offering, and then they can read about it and click and then provide feedback, okay? So this would be, I'd copy and paste this. I'd go back to the assignment, wherever that got off to, one of these tabs. Where'd my assignment go? Really, dude? Either way, you get the idea. I'd go back to Canvas rather. And I would shoot. And right in the assignment description for assignment number 6, I would add that link, okay? Man, I really lost that website. Maybe I clicked out of it at some point. Anyway, that's the idea, and I would copy, not that link, but this link. So now I'm here, and I copy that link. I'd go back to Canvas, and I'd go to the submission for assignment number 6, and I would submit it. Again, read specifically what the requirements are. All the buttons need to work. We need to have that CTA button. It needs to just be for your service, and you need to be able to lead them somewhere to a feedback, okay? Google Forms is, again, what I'm going to recommend, and I'll add a link to Google Forms in the assignment, probably in just both assignments, so I'll add a link to Google Forms, whatever, just so you have it if you haven't used that before. Okay, all right. If you have any questions, as always, reach out. If you have any questions, I am here and happy to help. My goal is to be a resource to you and your entrepreneurial ventures, okay? All right, wings up, go Eagles. Have a good week. Bye.